Hello, everyone, and welcome back to D&D&D&D&D campaign number 1, Under Locks and Keys. When we last left off, the party managed to safely escort what was left of the Tieshan Express to the village of Adine. After much of the train and an attempt on the passengers, was made by a tar slime from the Underdark that had smuggled its way aboard while the train made an unscheduled stop in a neighboring station. Defeating the beast and saving the passengers, if not the train itself, the party managed to improvise a solution that prevented the unprepared passengers from being left to fend for themselves in the wilderness, and managed to make their way safely out to Adine. As the party arrived, they temporarily split ways, as they had received unexpected news. The detective is no detective, or at least not by true profession. The man you had known as the Detective Custard Bath is truly Dr. Shernatural, who runs the museum in Adine and collects strange magical artifacts from all over the world, including, supposedly, Dracula's coffin, which will allow you to safely die and come back. And it is during this trip to the land of the dead that you will be given your chance to retrieve the complete chronology of time. The Book of Time that supposedly allows one to read the past, present, and future in an ever changing set of arcane runes written by a god beyond gods. But not necessarily willing to place your life in the hands of someone you barely know, especially one who has mafia connections and has proven that he is not necessarily willing to trust you blindly. While Avaben deals with the personal matters of his companions, as his confidence is at odds with his overprotective nature, the rest of the party makes their way out behind the cathedral to the village graveyard, where Alfred, your siblings claim that they have contacted a necromancer they know, who is willing to simply allow one of you to die and then resurrect you. If you don't trust the detective, this may be an alternative, and one that Anna seems a lot more comfortable with, as Dr. Kemry has a vocalized disdain for the criminal element that you are working with. And with that, I think that is where we will pick back up. As the three of you make your way out to the graveyard, you make your way past the cathedral. Asari, taking a glance at the building itself, you can see the cathedral itself is rather impressive. A 3-story stone structure, one of the few really complete buildings in the otherwise perpetually under construction and devastation village. At a glance, it appears to be a church to a Yavik god, although you are not immediately intimately familiar with the Yavik pantheon. Uh, Judging by the symbology, it appears to be a god or goddess of life. Making your way past the museum, you find yourself in the graveyard of Adine. A rather unimpressive structure. A very loose fencing around it. Simple burial mounds on a hilltop that overlooks the dark forest surrounding the village. Alfred, as your brothers lead the way, Balak looks over his shoulder at you and gives a somewhat nervous smile. Now, I'll warn you, our friend, and he does kind of air quotes, is a little bit odd. They're, we've made them promise they're not going to talk too much, so just explain what you need, and if they start talking, just cut them off and remind them that you have something you're here to do, okay?
Hmm. So they talk a lot.
You have no idea.
Hmm. Well, let's see what happens.
They lead you into the graveyard and stop in front of a burial mound. It appears unremarkable, more just a selection at random, seemingly. And Alfred, your siblings look around before you see Rifiz kind of elbow Belak a bit and nod into the forest at an unseen thing. Balak seems to notice it and kind of cautiously raises a hand and waves in you guys' direction. Meanwhile, Rifiz takes a look around to ensure that the party is not being observed as Balak calls out in a enough of a raised voice to be heard in the quiet night, but not so loud that those in the village would be able to easily hear. El, over here.
Oh. Hmm.
Striding out of the dark woods, the three of you see an unfamiliar figure. They appear to be humanoid, although no features or even body can be made out, as they are completely encapsulated in a scarlet cloak. The scarlet itself, interestingly, is, you notice, tinted with a sort of sheen of green. Their face is hidden, and the cloak covers their shoulders all the way down to their feet. But their stride is purposeful and confident, betraying nothing as they stride into the graveyard. Been a while, El. This is our brother and his friends. We need you. And you're the best necromancer we have. The figure says nothing, simply gives a nod of agreement before turning their hidden hooded face to the three of you, surveying all of you critically beneath the cloak. All right. Well, brother, are we doing this now? Or are you wanting to go over the particulars?
I mean, I would like to, know as much as possible. I should just kind of like regards the figure curiously.
Yeah, the more we know, the better.
Right. The figure tilts its head and you hear a slight intake like they're about to start speaking, but Belak simply speaks over them and barrels through before they can begin. All right, this is not exactly our first rodeo. We've, well, they've brought back the dead a lot of times, so it's pretty easy for them. They're one of the best necromancers in Yav. They pull at their collar somewhat nervously as they look at the burial mound. So, what's going to happen is one of you is going to have to die. That much hasn't changed. But if you're not willing to trust the doctor's machine, you can trust us. We've seen them do it. We know they can do it. And they've already brought the supplies they'll need with them. All we need to do is choose which of us is going to die, and we'll give you however long you think you'll need to get this thing you're after.
Well, I'd still like it to be me out of us.
But who said you had to go alone?
Yeah, I really am not too sure about you going by yourself. No offense.
That can work. Els brought back multiple undead at once before. They can do it again. You can do that, right? The hooded figure simply gives a nod.
She kind of like squints her eyes and looks back to the brothers. For somebody who doesn't, who you said speaks a lot, is not speaking at all. I think I would feel more confident if they said it.
You hear another intake of breath, and Rifiz just speaks up, talking over them. No, trust me, you don't. We'll be here all night.
Well,
She
better
kinda,
all
like,
night, since this is our lives.
Mm-hmm.
The figure is silent and holds out a pale hand covered in scars. Shadows materialize in their palm and begin to extend until eventually the solid shape of a scythe begins to form.
Fucking hell. I know who this is now.
Yeah.
Well,
Indeed.
there's only one person I know who uses a scythe.
Right now.
Yeah, right now.
This is
Yeah.
3 years after Black Ink and Blue Blood, buddy.
Oh.
Actually, it's been longer than that now. Almost
Mm-hmm.
5.
Yeah, this doesn't really tell me anything.
They level the scythe at you. Gesture silently to the mound of dirt acting as a grave. They twirl the blade so that it glides across their throat without damaging them. And then another scarred, pale hand emerges from the cloak with a gesture that indicates something rising. No words are spoken, but you understand the message communicated. It really is as simple as the brothers are describing. You die, you come back.
How many can you revive at once? And what is the chance of success?
The blade of the scythe dances across the ground as they drag it, almost with this idle motion. But as you look down, you realize they're writing in Elvish in the dirt. Can you read Elvish?
No.
Let me check. No, I cannot read Elvish.
Alfred?
Like, I can read many languages. Elvish is not one of them, sadly.
Wait.
Wait.
Hold on. Thought about what you. Oh yeah, didn't you have the eyes of the roomkeeper?
Oh,
The Eldritch invocation. You read all language. You read all language. You just can't understand Elvish. Yeah, I was like, wait.
So you can understand it when it's read, you just can't understand it when spoken to.
Yeah, you can't speak.
Yeah, so I can read it then, yes.
Okay.
I thought you had that.
Yeah, you're right. I just forgot that small aspect.
They write 2 numbers in response to your questions. 56, 100%.
You can revive 56 people at once.
And that's without preparation. That's just what they can do right here and now.
What kind of necromancer are you?
Who are you?
They simply silently stare, and the scythe slowly vanishes back into the shadows, and their hands retreat back under the golden cloak.
Okay.
I would at least feel better if I could see your face.
That yeah, like
This is just a little too mysterious.
yeah, this is really sketchy as fuck. You two, can you at least let them say something?
Balak and Rufus kind of raise their eyebrows and look to you, Alfred. You trust us, don't you?
Can I roll insight?
Roll insight.
Yeah, because this is really sketchy.
Sketchy as fuck.
Well, I trust you, but I guess they would like more proof if you're able.
Insight. Let's see. Ooh, 30-20.
And Greylog, were you checking as well, or
I-
have you just already decided this is sketchy? Just so I know if you're.
I have already decided that this is sketchy as hell.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify if I should expect a roll or not.
Like, I thought about it, but I'm like, no, like this is sketchier than Lady Hell herself. I think he'd actually prefer that one.
Greylog, as you scrutinize the necromancer, Asari, you turn your attention to Alfred's brothers. Both of them seem a little exasperated by the insistence. Rufus, for his part, seems relatively neutral. He's always struck you as rather patient. But Belak seems a little agitated at the insinuation, especially given that they've implied they know this person pretty well and trust them fairly implicitly. Eventually, Belak sighs and looks to the figure. Look, would it be okay if I... The figure simply nods. They can't.
What does that mean?
Can't speak or can't let us see them.
Well, you can look at them if you want, but yeah, they can't speak. We just do the whole they talk too much thing so that people don't bother them.
That's valid. You know, honesty usually, gets you a whole lot further than, saying someone talks too much, because then we start asking questions, then it gets awkward.
Why would we have brought you all this way just to kill you here?
I don't know.
Well, that wasn't my issue.
Someone's gonna be dying one way or another, so it's like,
Okay, well, you got me there, but... I'm serious. Where we come from, they were the best.
yes, but how are they here? Like, okay, I know how they are here, but how are they here?
Same way as us. Portals are a two-way street.
I understand the portal aspect, but I mean, are their abilities the same here as it is the other place? Have they been able to do the same thing that they can do there, here?
There's a rumble in the ground. Balak and Rufus back away from the mound of dirt.
This is why we're in a graveyard.
A decomposed hand reaches out of the soil and begins to claw its way to freedom.
I mean, that's a bit different, isn't it? Than actually bringing somebody back to life.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
There is a pretty big difference. Come on, if this was... Okay, let me put it this way. If Alfred was to die, would you trust them to bring your brother back?
We're here trying to
with
get you
him
to do
being the
that,
same
aren't
way.
we? There's always side effects to necromancy, yes, but you will come back.
I kind of look back to the figure. What kind of side effects are we talking about?
Because I'm already in trouble with Lady Hell.
Asari, the figure simply stares, and their gaze isn't even on you. They're staring at the shambling, rotting arm that's trying to claw its way out of the grave mound. They kneel down and run a scarred, shadowed hand over the grave, and the arm suddenly falls still. Balak scoffs a bit and approaches you, Alfred. Okay, fine. One way in, one way out, one man job. You in?
I mean, I was willing to go along, but well,
I mean, I would like to go along, but I mean, I'm just. Alright. Fine. I'm in.
All right. They look over their shoulder as you see that the necromancer now has what appears to be a surgical saw of some kind and is hacking the decaying arm off of the rest of the body.
If that's not Lucifer or Lucian, I don't know who
Hey.
it is.
well, it's they have the at least
I just kind of watch, like, with both curiousness and, like, something that's similar to discuss.
All right.
Well, if y'all are in, I'm in.
well, I mean,
Look, they've done it to Reefus and I multiple times. Okay.
but I mean,
Killed you or revived you?
It kind of both, I guess. Although the first one was an accident, I think.
I look over to the necromancer. Was it?
The necromancer simply rises and stows the rotting arm away in their cloak and uses their scythe to kind of slide the dirt smoothly back where the zombie had been tearing away at it. The grave now appears undisturbed, the body inside having shifted but otherwise staying at rest.
Yeah, I guess I couldn't exactly leave any proof that happened.
Yeah, we're gonna get in enough trouble if we get caught as it is. Speaking of, do we want to do this now? The doctor's gonna be expecting you, and
well, I
Yeah.
was thinking about that. What if you go along with Greylong? What if you go along with the doctor, do their way? Seems like it's only a one use anyways. And it has sounds of it has less side effects.
So pretty much we go both routes
Yes.
with double the chance of success of getting the book.
Yes.
It's not a bad idea.
we can certainly do that. All right. I guess those of you who are gonna do it our way, we'll take you out into the forest.
So I am curious, how do you all plan on starting?
Probably with that crazy ass size of his.
You don't want to get hit with that, trust me. I was just gonna cut your throats.
Oh, so same method.
It's really not, trust me.
No, I mean as a
mean-
doctor.
I mean, it's pretty cool.
But I will say one other thing before I head out. If these two don't come back properly, I will hunt you down.
Balak kind of pales a little bit and glances to the necromancer. Rivez kind of fidgets nervously.
Only because they're my friends. I hope you can understand that.
Yeah, I got it.
Good luck. And he'll walk off.
I'm gonna grab a kiss from him before he does.
Oh, definitely.
Balak kind of leans towards you, Alfred, and whispers quietly, I'm not sure if I like your friends.
They have their moments of good and bad.
All right.
Just as y'all can have the same.
They kind of give a bit of a loose shrug, but after a moment they catch their breath, and as Greylog and Asari embrace and kiss before parting ways, the assassin and thief turn to all of you and, all right, let's take this out into the forest. Greylog.
Oh boy.
Making your way to the museum. As you make your way inside, you aren't quite sure exactly what to expect, but it is a rather intriguing sight. The inside of the cathedral turned museum is definitely well maintained, and as you enter what is effectively the entrance hall, you see that it has been largely completely reconfigured to suit Dr. Supernatural's needs. Shelves, or rather, diodes and displays of various weapons line the walls, with little plaques under them explaining what they are. And painted murals line the walls, depicting an ancient and forgotten war. Over the entrance hall, you see the words, History of Yav. You see there is a staircase leading up. At the moment, you do not see or hear the doctor.
I will call out, "Hey, Doc, you here? I'm ready to get this done. Don't know where I'm going. Don't want to just walk around in your stuff here."
There's a pause of silence before you hear footsteps on the marbled stone stairs. As coming down from the second floor, you see the doctor. His hands are in his pockets, and he gives you a small nod of acknowledgement as he makes eye contact with you. I appreciate the consideration. I've just about finished the preparations. Do you need more time, or are you prepared?
I'm prepared.
All right. Where are the rest of your companions?
They decided that they wanted to try the necromancer route, and I'm going to go this route and pretty much see who has the better results.
Necromancer.
Yeah, they seemed a bit sketchy to me.
Necromancers tend to be. This country has a history of being run afoul by necromancy.
Yeah, it's a very... what's the word? I can't even think of the word. It's not a very precise art. That's what I was going to say.
Indeed. Well, if that is the case, the consequences are theirs. Come. I've already prepared most of the ritual. I'll just need to put the finishing touches.
Okay. and he will follow.
As you follow him and ascend the stairs to keep behind him, you really do get the impression that this guy has been all over the world. As you pass by different floors, you see all sorts of different things. On the second floor, you see objects of Olympus. And then on the third, you pass by one of the wonders of the Western world. Before finally, he leads you inside one marked History of the Dante Clan.
Since we have a little bit of time, who are the Dantes?
The Dantes. They're an ancient clan of hunters of the undead. They used to fight the ancient kings of them, the ghouls and the like, back in the Second Age. Their descendants are the best of slaughterers of the undead. They've fought in wars. They've defeated monsters. They say that all great undead scourges meet their end at the hands of a Dante. I've managed to acquire a replica of their ancestral weapon, actually. And he gestures as you enter the hall to the left. The hall itself is fairly sizable, a good about 20, 30 feet on the sides and going down almost 50 feet lengthwise. He gestures to one of the pedestals encased in glass with a plaque beneath it. You see in the plaque he gestures to what appears to be a chain bullwhip with a stake on the pommel. An insignia you don't recognize carved into the handle.
Sorry, would love this.
Most likely. The Dantes call it Death Mercury. The method of crafting it used to be known only to the Dantes.
That is pretty interesting.
I have many such things here. As he leads you further down the hall, you pass by a few other smaller artifacts. A black and slender longsword. Various religious iconography from all sorts of different cultures. Vials and weapons of various things that would suit a vampire killer. But finally, he leads you to the very back of the room. On the back wall, there is a great art piece of a man with long, dark hair, a thin beard, deeply pale skin, almost as if sick, wearing dark armor and a black and red cape, a sword in one hand, and from his other, dark magical energy emerging.
That's a vampire if ever I saw one.
King of the vampires and the very first to ever walk this world, Vlad Dracula. And I managed to acquire his coffin after his death. And he directs your attention to what is beneath the painting. You see a strange-looking device. An 8-foot-long coffin, deep, deep black with gold trim. It's open at the moment, and you can see it has a luxurious velveteen interior. But what makes it more unusual is what is attached to it. Various pipes and glass containers that almost look alchemical in nature completely surround this odd coffin. And you see various pale liquids are already running through them. Various mechanics and wires that you don't understand are on the bottom, connecting it to the ground and to the surrounding machinery. And looking inside, you can see that the coffin itself is empty, devoid of an occupant. However, you do notice that inscribed in gold are the initials VD.
I get the first one. What was the last initial? The VD. What is Vladimir?
Dracula.
Dracula. I should have known that one.
No worries. Alright. If your companions aren't going to be here for this, and you want to simply get it done now, I'm capable. I'll admit I wasn't expecting it, but he gives a bit of a shrug. Whatever you think is best. Are you ready?
Let's hope this works. Very high stakes are on this one. Yeah.
Relax. You have nothing to be afraid of, unless you have a fear of death.
More about who's on the other side.
Very well. Lay down within, and I'll prepare the ingredients.
And he will do so.
As you lay within, the coffin is incredibly comfortable, luxurious. You could see yourself spending a comfortable afterlife in this.
Yeah, well,
It's like
at least Vlad had a good taste in coffins.
1 gallon of holy water. He pours a pale liquid into the vials and containers that surround the coffin. You notice as you lie down that it is beginning to leak inside of the coffin itself, staining the velvet. 1 gallon of virgin's blood. He pours another liquid, red this time. It stains the holy water and also begins to flow into the coffin. Powdered horn of unicorn. He holds out what appears to be a water skin, uncorks it, and pours a colorful, almost rainbow-esque powder over your chest.
I'm kind of curious how you got that one.
As I said, I'm well-traveled. One flawless red gem. He holds out in front of you a 1-foot diameter ruby sphere. Hold this.
And I will hold that. That seems definitely important. Not gonna let it go.
He tightens the gloves on his hands as he prepares the final ingredient. Adamantine powder. Do not move.
He does not move at all.
He begins to sprinkle a silvery blue powder around your head, forming this almost halo. All right. Items inserted. Ready to bond. The coffin is beginning to flood faster now. It's coming up almost to your chest, a mixture of blood and holy water. The final step. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Gives you a nod. And pulls a dagger from his belt. Tell him I said hi. And with that, the last thing you register before everything starts going dark is the coffin being closed as the mixture of liquids and powders begin to drown you. Greylog Orchin, you are dead.
It's going to happen eventually.
Oh.
Alfred, sorry.
I'm being drowned by a puppy, but
No worries. The brothers Artabat and this odd necromancer begin leading you away from the graveyard and out into the dark woods that surround the village of Adine. Once you've gotten a good 100 feet away from the village, the necromancer stops, and the brothers stop as well and turn to the two of you. All right, good a spot as any. You have everything you need, right? The necromancer nods, and the shadows of the nearby trees and grasses begin to jump to their hand as their scythe begins to reform. All right. How long do you think the two of you will need?
I was gonna ask how long would y'all take to revive us? I don't really know all about how long this would take to get there.
Your brothers kind of look to each other, and well, it will take us an hour to revive you at least. Do you think that will be long enough?
to be honest, I'm not really sure.
Yeah. Seems this one there's not a whole lot of information to look. But it is, I guess.
Well, I guess we'll just have to chance it. If you come back empty-handed, we'll figure something else out. Him and Rifas both pull daggers out, and the necromancer levels their shadowy scythe. You ready?
I guess as ready as we're ever gonna be, right?
Yep.
All right. I guess he looks to his brother. You take the other one?
The other one.
Rifas looks to Asari, stares at her for a moment, and then nods. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this moment.
Revenge. Nothing personal is what they say, just to kill you.
All right. We'll make this painless. See you in an hour, brother.
I do hope that's the case.
It will be. We wouldn't let anything happen to you. And with that immediate notion, a clean cut across the throat. Asari, Rifas does the same, plunging a dagger into your neck. And the last thing the two of you see before everything goes dark is the golden-cloaked necromancer stepping through the grass over your two bodies. And their head kind of cocks to the side curiously as they watch you bleed out. Alfred, Gory, and Dr. Asari-ku, you are dead.
I still can't help thinking that's a bit personal.
All right, so for our next campaign, I was thinking... I'm kidding.
Hey, we still got
Oh
one
my
more.
god, could you imagine?
Hey, we still got one more player.
Yeah.
Carries the
fucking-
whole thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, Hunter comes back. All right, so what I miss? It's just like, all right, so TPK.
Yeah.
That was such an obvious trap. I don't know why they didn't see it coming.
Yeah, we knew it was sketchy as fuck, but we tried to trust him anyways. You know, trying to be the better person, and look where it got us, an early grave.
Just pure curiosity. Is it Lucian?
You don't know.
Oh, come on! At least tell us after the session,
Well,
after the necromancer leaves. At
I will
least let us know.
I will tell you at the end of the chapter. How about that?
Okay,
That
so we don't
part
have a
is-
chance to go after him. Okay,
Yes.
You have to bring
that
us
means
back.
it's Lucifer. Got it.
If that's what you think.
Well, why would we go after Lucian?
I mean, there's plenty of reasons, I'm sure.
You also forget this is reverse. This would be reverse Lucy. It is the mirror version.
Oh well, we'll find out eventually.
Sorry. As a woman who is impious, devoting your life to science rather than worship, there is no immediate afterlife for you. Not in the traditional sense. When the Great War of the Gods and Titans broke out, the gods of death knew that they could, of course, squabble over worshippers, but more pressingly was the concern of what becomes of those who do not worship. Some suggested that it simply be based on location. If you die near Hades, you go to Hades automatically. It doesn't matter whether you're of Olympic faith or not. Others suggested that it be based on favor. The gods pick and choose. But eventually, the system that was settled on after the war ended was the creation of bliss. A neutral domain that is beyond the gods. It is indeed an underworld, a land of death, but no gods are beholden to it. None can reach it. Even thousands of years after this quest comes and goes, Asari, you will be one of less than 10 people that have ever seen what bliss looks like. And if you're lucky, you may get the opportunity to tell others about it. You find yourself floating in darkness. You're surrounded by a presence, comforting and familiar. You feel a sense of total calm and absolute peace.
Man, I could float in here forever.
I wouldn't suggest tempting me.
I look around to see if I can't find the voice.
You see no one, but you feel a hand on your shoulder, rough, and the fingers too long.
Cut your fingernails.
Yeah.
What exactly is it that brings you to my domain? I wasn't expecting you yet.
I'll tell them what we're doing and where I'm headed. You know, just trying to save all of humanity, I guess.
There's a silence, and you float. Alfred.
You float too.
Yeah.
Alfred. Tell me, are you a religious man?
I thought about this. I'm just like, does Tabadra have a religion?
Indeed. Tibadra, or as of course you
Well,
would have
yeah.
grown up, Artabat, does indeed have a religion.
I mean, he probably wasn't like too strongly too focused on it, but he probably had some connections there.
Like basically, you're religious enough to pray, but you're not like a cleric or anything. Okay. While multiple gods and goddesses were worshipped in your homeland, your people primarily celebrated the night. It gave them protection. Potential prey would come out of the woods and be hunted, and it would hide your caravans as you sent gifts to other kingdoms.
Ho ho ho.
Yeah, basically, yeah, Artibations were basically like vigilante Santa Clauses. And as a result of this sort of fondness, they primarily took to worshipping the night itself and the goddess that created it. But as you awaken, you're not greeted by your goddess directly. Instead, you find yourself in the afterlife you were always told you would find. Perhaps simply a post-mortem hallucination, or perhaps you're seeing what's on the other side. You have no way of knowing for sure, obviously, but as you awaken, you find yourself in Nav. You are in a huge, seemingly endless green pasture of rolling plains and blue skies. Despite the isolation, you feel safe, comforted almost. And you don't see anyone else here. Not right now, at least. What do you do?
Is there it's just a green plains?
Yeah, you're literally just in like imagine Ohio, just nothing but rolling hills. But I mean, the sky is beautiful, and again, despite being completely alone, you don't feel isolated.
Guess he'll just kind of look around and maybe like start. He'll start walking, but enjoy the sights as beautiful as they are.
Take a deep breath and begin to walk and take in the world around you. Greylog. That familiar cold greets you again, but this time there is no warm hand to take it away. But as you come to your senses, the cold begins to quickly diminish, but not by a hand, but by the very air. As the cold of death leaves you, you find it being replaced with a intense burning heat. You realize with a shudder that you are on the dark side of Helheim.
Oof. Boy, you got some explaining to do.
Yeah.
As you rise to your feet and take a look at your surroundings, you find yourself in an ashy, dark cave. The air is burning hot. The ground burns your feet. But you realize there's a tunnel ahead of you.
A bit.
Well, I will follow the tunnel until something tells me otherwise.
As you begin to stride down the dirt tunnel, your steps rapid and shifting. You hear up ahead of you a somewhat unfamiliar voice. And the whole cave begins to shake violently. Rocks and dust tumble from the ceiling, and you almost prepare for a cave-in before it suddenly, just as quickly as it came, begins to subside. The pain noises came from further down the tunnel.
I will keep going. He's going to do his best to show no sign of fear, and he will stride with purpose.
You stride down the tunnel and eventually come to an opening. You see a cavern ahead of you, massive and open. Up above, you see cloying mist and smoke. Down below, a trio of sharp-looking rocks. You see a figure you don't recognize, at least not by sight. A Cambion, or tiefling, with horns, long curly red hair, and an equally curled red goatee. Light strawberry red. Their skin is pale. You see, they appear to be male. You see that their lips have scars of stitching. And they are dressed in a long, flowing, reddish-green garment. Over their head, bound to one of the three rocks, tied in an almost visible knot, coiled tightly, is a massive snake, with fangs literally dripping poison. The only reason the poison does not hit the face of the man is a woman standing nearby with a blue fur dress with leather armor and long braided blonde hair, holding a simple basin beneath the snake's head to catch all of the venom. The Cambion is bound by iron. You think they're chains, but they look strange. They are metallic, but it's almost like plastic is the best way I can describe it. They're iron, but not chains as you would expect them to be. It's just a long, flexible tube of iron.
It's interesting. I know what this is, but I'm sure. So.
I've heard the story. I just don't know the
It's looking
names.
intriguing.
You can see the Cambion is breathing heavily. as the pain of whatever he experienced when you couldn't see him subsides. He slowly turns his gaze to you, and his face cracks into a smile of stitched lips and mischief. Ah, was wondering if you were going to come. Things were getting complicated up there.
Yeah, they're always complicated.
Ah. So, well, I refuse to be a poor host. Have a seat.
Yeah. Well, does Greylog recognize who this is and the significance of who he's talking to?
Roll religion with advantage.
Boy. Okay. 14.
You recognize this person. You can identify them by their voice, now that you're hearing them speak coherently. It was the same voice that spoke to you years ago, into your mind through a cursed sword. The trickster that freed you from the parents who never loved you, at least not the way you wanted them to. The one who taught you to conjure fire and make it your friend, who taught you to change your shape. The god of the bound and silenced, the god of the hidden and the lost, the god of resistance at all costs, the mother of monsters, who looks after children as the winter descends and grants them the strength to endure, as they know all too well what it is like to endure untold suffering.
Loki.
Loki. He gives you a grin. Took you long enough.
Not the one I was expecting, honestly.
Really?
Yeah,
And here,
I messed up.
and here I thought my friend upstairs was pretty clear on that.
Yeah, I was supposed to fully renounce you and followed her.
And now, he grins, and with what he can move his hands, snaps his fingers and gives you finger guns. That account's been settled. The moment you died in that coffin, you weren't hers anymore. You're mine. You will always be mine. To think you abandoned me so easily. After all I've done for you.
Oof.
You helped me gain friends, and I abandoned to save those friends as best I could. Or at least that's what I hoped and tried to do. Maybe it was selfish of me. Or maybe it was just ignorance. I'm still uncertain.
Well, those things tend to all come in similar enough packages. Like facts and opinions. People get them confused, you know?
Yeah, it is a very easy thing to mess up.
Speaking of mess-ups, I didn't just call you here to tease you. I hear you've been having some trouble. Little bit of magical incontinence?
Yeah. It would seem I upset the older nature spirits.
To be
Went
fair,
against their teachings.
easy to do. Ah, I
It
remember those
is.
spirits back during the Crusades. Strict and stubborn.
Yeah, my greed got the better of me.
That it did. I'd be proud of you if it wasn't so stupid.
I did relinquish the staff, and I've tried to be more considerate with my money and not just take what I can.
Oh, well, that's a good lad. Uh, I know I'm supposed to be imparting on you some great life lesson or whatever. Personally, I could care less what you take. If you don't get caught, you're doing right by me. And if you do get caught, at least make it entertaining.
Well, that is fair. Besides, if you did impart some great life lesson, it wouldn't exactly be you.
Suppose you've got me there. So, you've done it. You've cleared your debt with my daughter. And now, the spirits are at peace. I knew exactly what you needed to do to make them happy. I just made sure you were in a position to do it.
And I do appreciate it. But I also know nothing is done for free.
Oh, you're damn right.
So what is it you ask of me, my lord?
That's a pet. I actually don't have anything I want you to do, at least not do differently. I'm finding this whole adventure of yours very entertaining. No, what I am personally here for, well, rather what you're here for. It's a long story why I'm here. Do you really understand what it is the nature spirits were upset at you about? And I mean seriously, kid. I want you to explain to me exactly what you did wrong and why it was wrong. Can you do that?
As far as I'm aware, and what I understand currently, I would have to say that it was my selfishness and putting myself above everyone else, thinking I was the most important.
Well, you're close. Why do you think that? Or, I guess if you don't anymore, why did you?
The power that I've gained went to my head. I thought I was
Aha!
strong enough, but I've come to rely on my friends and allies to take up on areas where I am not.
Proficient? Capable? Basically competent?
All the above.
Good boy. So you have figured it out. I'm proud of you. You're smarter than I gave you credit for.
If I was smarter than you gave me credit for, I would have figured it out ages ago.
Mm, to be fair, the rest of your little crew is still working on it.
What's the term? We're only human after all.
Well, see, that would make this a lot simpler, wouldn't it? If all of us were only human, we wouldn't be here. I'd
Maybe
probably
so.
be in some sleazy downtown bar getting laid. You can see the woman who's holding the basin to keep the venom away kind of smile a little bit. You'd probably still be hanging around with the good doctor. And, gods know that there would have been a lot less going on. But that's not the world we live in, is it?
It is not.
Tell me, do you have a plan?
Honestly, the only plan that we've managed to come up with is gather the artifacts try to keep him away from the boomergangers, and let it be someone else's problem in the next 100 years when you all reconvene.
Not a bad plan. Solid. Well thought out. But what are you willing to do if that doesn't work?
Whatever it takes. It won't do us any good if the world's destroyed.
Hmm.
Can't run. Won't do any good. It'll always catch up. I could die again. But if everything goes to hell, well, if everything goes wrong and everything's destroyed, then even that's not safe. So I'll do whatever is required.
Good. I'm a lot of things, my boy, but I'm not someone who puts my life and everything in the hands of a flake. The gods are starting to notice what's been happening. Let me tell you, the meeting upstairs is in chaos. But we all signed the same treaty. There's nothing we can do. Which means you and your little friends are our own. So I want to make sure that I'm hedging my bets.
That's fair.
Otherwise, if these crazies get their way, even Ragnarok won't save us.
Yeah, they seem to think that they could even take all you guys on.
Oh, they absolutely can. If they win, I'm a dead man. That's plain and simple.
But that is frightening.
That's why I wanted you here. You and your little crew, you're operating under the delusion that you're meeting equals, that you're meeting people who are like you. Whether you think that they're evil or misguided or idiots, whatever you think they are, you're wrong.
What are they?
The worst thing they could be, my son. Only human.
That is pretty bad.
He grins.
But at least that does mean they are mortal and able to die.
That they are. When that door opens, I'm going to die. A lot of us are. You and your buddies are the last line of defense. Nobody but those you've trusted and the gods themselves know what's happening, and the gods are powerless to do anything to stop it now. They've put themselves beyond our reach. Their headquarters is beyond our touch, and when they do operate here, they're thorough. Trust me, I've checked. They've secured themselves against everything. Scrying, curses, hexes, poisons, potions, lotions.
Lotions. So are you saying that the door will actually be opened?
Indeed. That's why I wanted you here. Up till this point, you thought you could keep it shut, didn't you? You thought it was possible.
We hoped.
Which is why I need you to understand what you're up against. Understand, you're dealing with people who will do anything to get what's on the other side, and they have the power to do it. But they don't need magic. They found alternative ways of getting what they want. If you don't open it for them, they're just going to find a way to do it themselves. So, I suggest you be prepared. This isn't a prophecy. I have no idea how this is going to turn out. Honestly, I doubt even my father does. For now, all we can do... But I figured with my life on the line, I'd toe the rule line a little bit and give you a heads up. I'm not supposed to be telling you any of this, but he gestures with his hands to the chains he's wrapped in. Do I look like the sort of man who follows rules?
Even if you weren't in those chains, I'd say no. You're rebellious of nature. Part of why I followed you.
I am proud of you. How far you've come. You're not that lonely little boy, subsisting on stories of adventures and what little magical doodads your parents brought home with them. You've got a good thing going here. He leans his head back against the rocks and stares up at the woman, who continues to maintain her posture of holding the bowl. But that's all I wanted from you. Now the question is, I may have set all this up, but this plan only works if you want something. So what are you here to get from me? Just wanted to catch up? Cup of tea? I would offer you some, but I'm afraid all I have to drink here isn't exactly pleasant. You can see steam rising out of the basin.
Yeah. As I'm sure you're already aware of why I'm here. Probably just wanted me to actually say it. We need access to the book. Which one was it? The Book of Time or whatever?
Yeah, the Book of Time, otherwise known as the Complete Chronology of Time.
Yeah, the complete chronology of time.
Oh, that's all.
It's one of the keys for the door.
Well, I don't...
You cut out.
Oh. He kind of gives a yawn, or... Well, I don't have it.
Apparently I was supposed to come, get some sort of blessing, and then I would be able to get it.
Right. I forgot about that. I was just bullshitting you.
What do you mean?
Your friend, the Dawn.
Correct.
He had it the whole time. A gift from me to him.
Yeah, he did hint at that at the end, but he said that he couldn't give it to us without getting y'all's blessing first. You know, being a whole demigod or whatever thing. Something like he didn't want to give it to us and then have y'all mad at him.
No, I just told him that I wanted to talk to you and how to go about organizing that. And once I found out how much trouble you were in, I decided to bail you out. Consider it a favor.
Well, you always know how to get in touch with me in order for me to repay that favor. If we all get out of this alive.
I'll consider that payment enough. I don't exactly have a good thing going here, but I'm not letting these wackos stop it, you know?
Yeah.
I have a few creature comforts. The woman quirks a brow and looks down at him expectantly. He looks up at her for a long moment before. The rocks are comfy. She scoffs and rolls her eyes.
I wonder if I got your sense of humor as well.
Let's hope not, otherwise you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Oh, sorry, Art says that quite a lot.
Oh, well, I'm afraid it's too late for you. Terminal.
Could be worse.
That it could. He settles as best he can and looks to you out of the corner of his eye.
So if you had to guess, what is our chance of success?
Honestly, I have no idea. I can't tell you. Well, let me put it this way. If you met my father, you'd understand why I don't put much stake in seeing the future. A lot of good it's done me, huh? And he gestures to the chains.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna pretend to know any more than you do, or give you any false hope or unnecessary downers. I'm just telling you to be realistic. That's why I wanted to make sure you understood. That's why I needed you here. I knew that if you were able to make the nature spirits forgive you, that meant you were ready. I think everyone is getting ready, one by one. Slowly starting to understand that you're in over your heads. That this isn't just a treasure hunt anymore. And that you're not guaranteed to make it out of this.
Yeah, I kind of suspected that one from the beginning almost. It seemed too good and too easy.
All treasures are like that, I find. The more stories there are, the more curses on it.
Yeah, some curses are worth it though.
Oh.
Yeah. Even knowing everything, I still would have picked up that sword, gone on all these adventures just to get to this point again. I've learned a lot.
Then you do understand. He grins. And you're ready. Welcome back to my service, Greylog Orchin. And my first order? Stop the Boomergangers and the beast they're about to unleash.
Yeah, I will do everything I can.
That's all you can do. And on the off chance that something does happen to you, he gives a smirk. Don't worry about my daughter. I've already made the arrangements for you.
I'll just make sure to keep my mouth shut on that one. Don't want to say anything wrong to her.
She always did have a temper.
Yeah. Sometimes it runs in the family, it seems.
I personally think I'm a bastion of great decision making.
Oh, you, yes. The rest of your family, maybe not. Looking pointedly at the chains.
Fair enough. He chuckles a little bit. Well, I suppose that's that then. Oh, when you see the Dawn, tell him Firehead sends his regards. He'll know what it means.
Oh, that reminds me. What was his name? The one in charge of the museum who sent me here.
Dr. Supernatural.
Dr. Supernatural wanted me to tell you hello.
Ah, it's been a while. When was it I saw him last? We should catch up sometime. Thank you.
I'd almost forgotten.
He kind of snorts a little bit. Ah, well, more of a courtesy than anything.
Regardless, I like to fulfill my end of bargains as best I can.
Smart. You know, this they say the man who always tells the truth never has to remember his lies.
Yeah, that is true. Lies are hard to remember.
Before you go, like I said,
Yes,
I'm proud of you, and I'll find my way back to you.
I like to think that you never left.
He gives a genuine smile that crinkles his mischievous eyes, and the woman gives you another smile as well and a bow of the head. See you next time, kid.
Yeah, hopefully under better circumstances.
A death isn't something to mourn, my son. It is
Oh
always
no,
something
I,
to
I meant the
celebrate.
state of the world.
Oh, we'll see.
Yeah, fair enough.
He smirks and leans his head back over the rocks. You can see that the bowl's about to be full. The woman grimaces and looks down to him, and he just gives a nod. All right, get out of here. I don't want you to see this next part.
Is there anything I can do to maybe empty the bowl a little bit using some magic?
You may try. Or are you asking him?
Well, I'm looking through my spells to see what I could possibly do. I don't think I have anything to do for that one. I guess could I technically try to use shape water if he'll allow it to try to siphon some of it out?
You can try.
I will ask him first.
Hmm.
Would it be okay if I try to remove some of that poison just to give you a little bit longer of respite?
Oh, you're welcome to try.
I will cast shape water and try to remove a 5-foot cube.
You cast your spell,
Mhm.
and nothing happens. Give Father this, he knew me well. Can't cheat my way out of this one.
Yeah, maybe one day he'll let you out.
Oh, he will. That's the plan. See, you and I understand each other better now. This is what you have to look forward to, Greylog. I'm here because I have to be. Because the world can't function without me being here. Are you prepared to be the next martyr?
If need be.
Then be
Death
ready.
is but the next adventure. And yes, I totally stole that.
He gives you a smile, his eyes twinkling with mischief. Good answer. See you, kid.
And I will, like, respectfully turn around and start heading back down the tunnel the way I came.
Alfred. As you make your way across the open plains, that feeling of comfort doesn't leave you. You feel safe, and despite being alone, you don't feel isolated. You simply walk. This is Nav, the underworld over which the god Veles exercises custody. While it's different than what you expected, you were given a very slightly different variation of it. The end result appears to be the same, more or less. However, as you make your way, you see ahead of you, sitting on a rock, is a small humanoid figure with a head of brilliant red hair and a white coat, and over the messy hair, a black fancy hat. A figure you last saw as you carried him away from your family home in your arms, as he lay dead from an infection.
We'll approach them.
As you approach the figure, you see that their gaze is distant, facing ahead. Their eyes a gleaming green, their face made up as they always preferred to be in life. As your father, Lanterna Ardabat, sits before you. He doesn't look at you, but he simply scooches to the side and pats the rock he's sitting on for you to join him.
And I sit next to him.
It's nice, isn't it?
It is quite a sight.
You know, I never expected I would actually make it here.
Why would you say that?
I broke the rules, and maybe I wasn't the father I should have been to any of you. People say I can't take the blame for how things turned out, but I don't know. Maybe if I hadn't been so focused on helping everyone else, I would have kept my eyes on what was right in front of me.
I believe everyone has mistakes in their lives, but you being, I think, in my opinion, couldn't have wished for a better family.
He gives you a smile, and I don't think I told you as much as I should have about the day I found you.
Well, I've learned a couple things. Well, I say that. I've learned a lot of life lessons. I mean, I think the past is nothing really I need to worry about, but man, if there's anything that would help me in this situation now, then I'm open ears.
Maybe. I'll admit I'm not sure how helpful it'll be exactly, but I went to my death keeping secrets. I think it's time I open up more. And you deserve to know. All of you do. I found you on my doorstep as a baby boy. You know this already. Draped in cloth and clutching a single white feather. I wasn't even sure if you'd want to be family, so early on you were simply white feather. But you were always more fluid than your siblings. You change. Soon you became Paul Artabat. Now you take the name Alfred Gorey to lift the curse of a man you don't even know. I'm glad I could impart good lessons on at least one of my children.
I believe they have learned lessons, just some are still learning.
Well, life is ever a learning process. He puts both hands over his cane and leans his frail old head against you. I know that you're hoping to bring me back, that you want our family to be together again.
Try not to make it less of a hope, more just I believe that's what's gonna happen.
He smiles and places a small gnomish hand over yours. Son, I lived a long life, a good life. The fact that consequences caught me before time did doesn't change that. I raised a good family of good boys and girls. Or at least, children who are trying their best. And that's all I would ever ask of them. Don't weep for the dead. You can build a new life for yourself. You can construct yourself anew. You already have so much.
But if we're able to bring you back, why not? I mean, it seems like he's getting stronger while protecting the keys, so strong enough by the end of this. Why not?
I know you can do anything you set your mind to, Alfred. But Paul, everyone has their time. And what happened to me was not your fault. The people that took me down, they got the better of all of us. At least then. And What would I bring back to the world? I'm a frail old man who doesn't have many years left in him anyway. I may not have been the husband I should have been, but I think I've done all I need to do as a father. Both of us deserve to rest, son.
Well, I just don't see any reason why to give up.
It's not giving up. It's just letting go.
Not sure if I see much of a difference there.
I suppose I taught you too well. I will not force you to do anything you don't wish to do, but
And frankly, I don't wish to do the same. Do not wish to be, I guess, do you not wish to come back?
I've been able to watch my family grow and be happy. Me coming back, they really, really care about you. And I think you make a far better symbol for this family than I. You carry on my spirit, and you bear my mark. So I will ever live in you. I think that is life in and of itself. I don't need years on the mortal plane. I had years with you. And I don't wish for you to learn to take. I always taught you to give. You deserve to be happy, and you can be. You are not to blame. You have done all that I ever could have asked of you and more. I now ask you for nothing, but to be at peace.
I'm not sure if I could. I mean,
then can you promise me you'll try to build a new family for yourself, a peace with what you have? But if you come to the end of your journey and you feel unsatisfied, then like any father, I will come for you.
and what do I tell the others?
That you don't need me to be a family. You just need each other.
Well, not sure if I can, but can promise I'll try. Seems quite impossible to me.
Nothing is impossible for you. Even when you were young, you were bending people and magic alike. You were so brilliant and capable and disciplined. You never thought even for a moment that you were above anyone else, despite our status. You were just you. And that's what I want for you. For you to feel free to just be you.
Yes. Paul will look at Paul slash
To
is
your father, you will always be Paul.
already forgot my name. Yeah. Paul slash Alfred will look at his hands and just like, not sure who I am at.
Then let this journey be one of discovery. Decide who you want to be. You need not serve everyone. You have a mind of your own. You are powerful. You are independent. And you're smart. And I know you're going to do something great. Is there anything I can do for you?
Unless you have any clue about where this whole book is,
It's already been tended to. You need not worry.
well, I guess that thing's simple.
Oh, there is one more thing. As I said, I took the time to learn, and I discovered things after I fell ill. It had an effect on my mind, and now being here, I see the world so clearly. I can't tell you who your parents are, or why they chose me, or anything of that sort, but there was one thing I discovered after I fell ill, and the sickness began to infest my mind, filling it with alchemical formulas and chemicals I'd never seen before. You are special, Paul. Your white feather came from a dragon. A white dragon of frost and cold.
Yes, that does raise a lot of questions. But not important at the moment. I mean, my past is, well, it's in the past right now.
He smiles and nods, but places his hand on yours once again. You are not the only one. Your friend, the archaeologist, She's a lonely girl, isn't she?
Not sure. I mean, it seems like she has a bunch of friends, so. She does seem to like to study, so.
Well, just promise me that if you ever find yourself questioning who you are, where you came from, if the life of an Artabat no longer satisfies you, speak with her and seek out your ancestor together.
Uh, if I have time, I may speak with her anyways, but it won't be out of lack of, wanting to be an Artabat. That's never change. So, yes, in the name sense, I won't be there.
I think there's nothing that makes you more of an Artabat than surrendering the name for a stranger to spare them a gruesome fate.
So, not really sure how I'm gonna spend the money. Not sure what the right way is.
Well, I'm sure you will think of it. He smiles and leans against you. I'm proud of you, son. You've done enough. But if you must take up the sword again, protect your family. Protect your friends. Be their shield.
That's a given.
Always. Truth, generosity, fairness, death. You remember the oath.
Yes.
And keep those values to your heart. And I know you'll find a way. He hugs your arm.
They'll head back.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Silence reigns in bliss for a long moment, to the point where you stop being certain that you had even heard a voice at all. Until, finally, you realize that with the complete lack of stimulation, it's not speaking in the traditional sense, it's the words appearing in your head as if you're reading an unseen book.
Hmm.
You have an interesting mind. I'd quite like to keep you.
I mean, by being from a little creepy, I mean, I, I'm not sure how to respond to that.
Ah. He's quiet for a moment before. Do you have any idea who I am? One more time, I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit.
She said no.
Do you ever think about how odd it is that people are so afraid to die?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's gonna die eventually.
You know that better than anyone, don't you, Doc? Archaeologist. Got nothing better to do than look at old bodies.
And buildings and bones and whatever else.
I'm curious. Why are you still here? Not here, I mean... I see what's in your mind. Your hesitations and doubts. I've seen your every mistake. You hide nothing from me here. Right now, you and I are one and the same, Dr. Koo. And I see everything that I am. But I can't help but wonder, why? Why give up so much?
I mean, go on.
What is it that motivates you, that drives you, that makes you not want to just give up and walk away, when so many others would have? For hundreds of years, people have been trying to do what you're doing. All have failed, except for you and your little posse. What makes you special?
She kind of thinks about it for a long time. To be quite honest with you, I really don't know.
That's a good answer. It's the truth. And I think that's what brings you to me. Let's call it a humbling experience. Do you know what's on the other side of that door?
We've been told many different things. I'm not sure exactly what to believe at this point.
Well, are you willing to trust the word of death itself?
Yes.
What awaits you on the other side is me. Death.
That's what we were afraid of. Well, I wouldn't say afraid.
No. Being afraid is good. Fear is what keeps us alive. Fear isn't something to be shunned, Dr. Koo. Fear is something to be embraced. Tell me, when that door opens, and it will, what are you willing to give up to see what's on the other side? If you fancy yourself able to stop it, are you willing to take casualties along the way? Are you willing to let blood spill?
Haven't we already?
See, that's the thing. Nobody really thinks about death, thinks about me, until someone they really care about meets me. Then suddenly it's different. Suddenly it's unfair. What was once he deserved it suddenly becomes he was too young.
I guess I've always thought, well, if you're gonna die, you know, you're the one that's gonna know whether or not it's your time or not.
Is that so?
She kind of gives a vague shrug. I mean, that's the thing about life, isn't it? None of us get out alive.
Oh, that's charming. Hmm. Maybe you are ready.
For
For what's on the other side. Death comes for us all, Dr. Koo. Even me. That's what's on the other side.
death for you.
Indeed. When that door opens, and what's inside is unleashed, I'll be one of the first to go. I'm not afraid. It's natural, as you said. But that doesn't mean I'm not willing to hedge my bets. So I ask you again, Dr. Koo. When you're dragging yourself through that God's forsaken place, when your friends lay dying in your arms, and you're up against an enemy stronger than all of you, you feel the two long fingers on your shoulder suddenly claw into you. Although, even then, it doesn't interrupt that feeling of bliss. Will you keep fighting?
I think you know the answer to that. I've already lost so much. What more can I lose?
Wrong answer. You have everything to lose.
Is it bad I've already feel like I've lost it?
It is. That's why you're here. Because you couldn't imagine anything better for yourself. And I don't know about you, but I'm not willing to stake my life on a lifeless puppet. If you're getting out of here, if you're going to be my chess piece in this game for life, I'm not sending in a pawn, I'm sending in a goddamn queen.
She kind of gives a smile to that.
You realize they'll target her. Your mother.
This kind of makes her frown. Yeah, no.
All the friends you've made getting here, them too. They've been watching you. With methods we can't see. With methods beyond us. They've been scrying on you from the beginning. They know everywhere you've been and everything you've done, and they will slaughter anyone to get to you. Are you prepared to lose all of them to finish the mission?
And what is the mission? To keep the door closed?
That's impossible. No. Your mission is to save my life. And your own, if it suits you.
One step at a time, I think.
Indeed. But for what it's worth, if you make it out, you'll make a good puppet. One of my favorites, I think. And I'll be sure to use you as much as I can.
Yeah. I think if I'm gonna do anything, at least I can help you. And, I'm not a strong fighter, but I can certainly try.
Speaking from experience, it's not all about brute strength. You need to outthink your enemy, outplan them, and when that fails, be more stubborn than them.
Now that I've got.
So I ask you again. Are you satisfied? Are you ready for what's coming?
She kind of like thinks for a long time.
Any doubts? Stay trapped in here with me. You have my word.
I want to be ready. I'll do whatever it takes to be ready.
All right. And if you find yourself starting to waver, I'll find you. I'm not one for impassioned speeches and convictions that everything's going to be okay. Everyone dies, Asariku. You, your friends, the Boomer Gangers, your mother, even me. All we can do is make the best of the time we're given. That will be your preparation.
What to live and live fervently.
More.
Really.
There's a silence in the written words before. You carry fear in your heart and weight on your shoulders. I'm a being of fear. I can smell it. You smell like prey. Share the burdens. Even I don't work alone. They may not necessarily be the warriors I would have chosen, but they are the ones I've been given. The Divine Five is all that stands between this world and complete annihilation.
No pressure, I guess.
Exactly. If you understand that, then you're ready. You've danced for a long time, Dr. Ku, between rash confidence and unfounded lack thereof. You've spent your whole life searching for old buildings and bones. Let's start with finding something easier, shall we? The middle ground. Be ready and be confident. But never make a gamble you're not ready to lose. Do you understand?
I suppose as much as I can.
Then, with any luck, I'll see you again. But I know you're ever hungry for knowledge. I have been on this world for many ages. Is there anything you wish to ask of me before we part?
What lies behind that door? Does it have a weakness?
It did once. Not anymore. Did you know that Tordage was not the first city built there? You've seen it. The city that lies beneath, the world below. It's not just an abandoned city, Dr. Ku. It's a relic. A preserved message to beings like me that we are not invincible. Reminds us how close we came to death. How narrowly we avoided it. How a being beyond even our comprehension had to save us from annihilation. The world shattered and quaked and bled. And even then, we could only seal it, not kill it.
Alright. How do I seal it?
What are you prepared to give up to save the people you care about?
I don't feel I have much to offer.
There is always something that all mortals have that is theirs to give.
My life.
The hand softens.
She gives a nod. Yeah. If that's what it took.
Then you have what you need. You feel the blissful feeling begin to leave you, being replaced with a sense of moroseness as the hand leaves your shoulder. I'll see you again, Dr. Ku, in this life or the next. Don't start preying on me. I'm very
Wouldn't
much
dream of
looking
it.
forward to piloting you around.
Don't think there's anyone I would pray to.
Good answer. Alfred, sorry. Both of you please roll me a d20, no modifiers.
Okay, D&D Beyond.
Oh yeah, the
punishment,
problem
yeah.
with necromancy.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this.
D&D Beyond. 16 for me.
One.
And you're both permanently dead. Oh no!
Okay. Alfred, sorry. There's dirt and grass at your back. The night sky clouded by a thick canopy above you. You're alive again. Breath and warmth returns to you. Alfred, you have actually managed to avoid any ill effect. Sorry. You have now known what it is like to die. And you never want to inflict that on someone else.
Alright, understood.
You now cannot willingly kill another creature.
Okay.
Well, that's gonna be a problem.
Permanent?
Yes, so some of these effects can't be removed. As the two of you sit up, you see Alfred's brothers crouched over him, looking over him, and Asari standing over you with shadowed scythe at their back is the golden cloaked necromancer, who holds out a scarred hand to hoist you to your feet.
I meet their eyes, and I'll take their hand.
All right, did it work?
I would say so. I mean, that was a weird experience.
Not exactly what we had planned, but
Is there a problem?
well, sounds like the book thing was taken care of. Not sure if it was Greylogs. Maybe Greylog had managed to obtain, but
Should we go check the museum?
Yeah, probably. I mean, what did you see? I should look at Paul.
well, about that. I'm gonna look towards my brothers. Like, I saw father.
Both of their eyes go wide, and they lean forward. Wow. What did he say? Did you speak to him?
Yeah, we did have a talk. Pretty insistent on us moving on.
What about our family?
Well, he wanted us to continue on the family and just be there for each other.
The two of them look to each other, and then to you. We've lost so many already. I'll have to think about it. Did he say that's what he wanted?
Well, I did ask him that, and I guess he never gave a definitive answer. Just reiterated that he lived a long life. He was satisfied with that life, and just simply just us for a happy family.
Balog looks to the ground and kind of bunches the edges of his cloak. Rufus, for his part, is stoic. Rufus, what do you think? I think if that's really what he wants, who are we to stop him?
Well, doesn't change what our current goal is. Make sure we get these keys, protect them.
Right. Even if this is what Father wants, it's these people who did this to him. We're coming with you. wants us to stay together, right?
I believe so. Yes, I'm gonna look towards the necromancer and be like, "Are you gonna come with us?"
They simply shake their heads slowly.
Why not? We could use someone of your talents.
Belak pipes up. They already have a lot going on here. They can't just drop everything and leave. They're nobility, you know.
No, we don't know because we don't know who this is.
Well, you know now.
I really don't like this secrecy. It's really kind of sketchy. You know that, right?
Where are the bats? It's what we do.
I thought you guys were generous.
Yeah, but people complain when you're too generous, so we have to do it quietly.
If you say so.
What? It's true. Do you have any idea how many doctors come after us because we're giving people their medicine for cheap or even for free? It's a lot. The answer's a lot.
And I wouldn't complain for being more generous on information.
How about this? And he gives a smile. When all this is over, we'll tell you the whole story sometime.
Alright.
Come on. I guess if you guys came back, if what Father says is true, then you heard it from Father, right? That... Alright. Then I guess let's go see if the machine worked.
I heard it was that I heard it seemed like something else was taken care of. So,
Well, let's hope that's in our favor.
alright. Guess Paul will start heading back.
Yep.
Alfred.
Yeah, you're back in the mortal plane. You're Alfred again. Alfred, you stand up, and you all start making your way back to Adine. As mentioned, an hour has passed, and the sleepy village is now in deep sleep. But you see there are still lights on inside the Cathedral of Curiosities, and you make your way inside. You step inside to see the same thing that Greylog had. A hall of historical Yavik weaponry, paintings illustrating the lush history of the continent, and a staircase heading upwards to see other areas, and doors heading off to other exhibits. Do you wish to do anything, or just wait to see if someone comes and finds you?
No. I don't exactly know what they are, so.
Okay. Unless...
I know exactly how Alfred could track him because he's used a spell before.
Yep, you're not wrong, you're not wrong. Locate object.
Alright, what are you locating?
Coffin, I guess? Or is it a
Well,
coffin?
have you seen the coffin before?
Well, I can say that, I can just say
Yeah,
coffin.
as long as it's a specific item. He doesn't have to have seen it before.
Yeah. I could just say
Oh, I
coffin.
thought you did.
Oh yeah, I can say
No,
coffin.
yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah, I can say coffin and just it will find the nearest coffin.
Oh, so yeah, even if he hadn't seen it, it wouldn't matter, yeah.
It leads you to his bedroom. Huh? Who would have thought?
Alfred, you cast Locate Object for the nearest coffin and see that there is one on the 3rd floor, 2 floors above you.
How do we...
I mentioned there's a staircase going up.
Oh, okay. Seems like we need to go up.
Okay. You pass through the various exhibits on your way up. What's that?
Looks like I might need magic for the object.
Well, I think it still does locate the closest one, though, anyway, right?
Not sure.
Because I remember you were able to locate that one guy's sword, even though you hadn't seen that.
I know, I thought
But it would describe to him in great detail.
True,
Yeah.
but...
Even then, he could still cast Locate Object on, you know, my clothes.
Yeah, or hell, like, he already knows who it is.
Some
Dracula's
item.
coffin.
Dracula's coffin, but...
Yeah, regardless, he's able to locate it, like, by the spell's rules anyway, so... As the two of you make your way up, you pass by the various exhibits. Objects of Olympus, wonders of the Western world. But you see the door to one is open. History of the Dante clan. And as you pass by, Alfred, you see at the very end of a long hall, lined with weapons and undead killing instruments. Asari coming up behind, you see as well. Dr. Surnatural over a dark black and gold coffin.
He better be alive.
Not at the moment, but he's about to be. I'm just making sure to give him time. This is an expensive process, and I'm not interested in spending the money because we got impatient. How'd your visit with the necromancer go?
Odd. They're odd.
If it's who I think it is, odd is right.
Who do you think it is?
He kind of tilts his head side to side in thought, and I think fundamentally it's pretty obvious. And with that, he reaches over and unlatches the coffin. Greylog. You suffer no consequences of resurrection.
Ah, that's nice.
You all watch as Greylog emerges from the coffin.
As I wake up,
Covered.
I live!
Yeah, and as he gives this declaration, Greylog, you are covered in blood and holy water that you've been soaking in for an hour.
All pruny.
Yeah.
This sucks. But I live?
Did you get what you went in for?
I did. What was the phrase I was supposed to tell you? Or was it the dawn I was supposed to say it to?
Oh, well, this is fundamentally comforting.
Like,
My intelligence was never great. But, the red-haired one... What was it again, Matthew?
Roll history.
Do it!
Quick, kill me again! I knew I should have wrote it down. Let me
I
see,
knew he was gonna say that though.
19. No, 18. Sorry.
Firehead sends his regards.
Yeah, Firehead sends his regards.
It worked then.
Yes. I had a nice chat with my god Loki.
Well then, I suppose you know fundamentally what you need to do next.
Yes, I gotta go see the Dawn and get that book.
He gives you a smile, and with his
So,
hands,
thank you for helping me get there. I definitely needed that conversation.
he just gives you a small nod and clasps his hands with a genuine smile as he looks over all of you. You may pass this to your companion as well, but with you all here, and I do have a business to run, congratulations. I officially dub you junior detectives.
Yeah.
Well,
How
Honor's
old are
gonna be jealous as fuck.
Who knows? Maybe someday you'll be as intelligent as me. Although I doubt it.
Yeah. So, how old are you?
That's a rather rude question, isn't it?
Well,
Oh,
it's just
where'd it go?
Loki seemed to think that you've been around for quite a while, so it piqued my curiosity.
He gives a bit of a grin, and I don't have to be old to know things.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
How is that fair?
Well, you know things.
Yeah.
He kind of
Tired. Who else is tired?
he grins, and my facilities are still open to you. And
Do
of
you
course,
have a bath?
yes, first floor in the back.
Thank the gods.
Yeah, I'm in.
For as long as they survive. And he'll fill everyone in on the fact that the door will more than likely open one way or another, and most of the gods, if not all, will end up dying.
Yeah, if anyone's gonna
If we
open the
fail.
door, if anyone's gonna open that door, I'd rather it be us than the Boomer Game Girls, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you all settle in for a relaxing bath to settle for the night as best you can, for the most part, your journey here is largely over. Of course, there will be organizing getting back to the city with the train out, but that is future use problem.
Oh, I've already got it figured out, actually.
Well, that works.
Why?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
can't fly forever. It's not more than a day's travel.
I can fly for. Let me see. Features and
Still
traits.
have to
Wow, shit.
camp outside.
16 hours. And then we take a break.
Fair plan. Fair play. As you all settle in, please speak up if there's any exceptions to this, but just from what everyone's saying, this is the vibe I'm getting. You all settle in and exchange what you discovered. Don Campan has the book, and had it all along. This was simply a ruse to put you all in a position where you would be forced to confront the reality of your situation.
Yeah.
Greylog. As a side effect of being resurrected from Dracula's coffin, all curses upon you have been lifted.
Let me. Oh, does that also mean his deal with that fairy?
Indeed.
Oh, they're gonna be pissed. Let me think. I can't think of any other deals that he had made with any fae or anything like that. Well,
But
other than hell.
your contract with the Fair Folk indeed is no longer valid. Your deal with Hela has now been replaced with your original deal with her father, although it is still to her benefit overall, and you have delivered on your promise. And for being willing to die with no guarantee of returning for the sake of the mission, the nature spirits have forgiven you.
Man, if only I still had that staff. Just to see what it did.
Well, we're technically going back. It's travel
Yeah,
back
see
anyways.
Yeah, see if the Tebadrians haven't hit it already.
Yeah, we'll see.
Sorry, you met the entity that will take your soul when you die. A being outside of the gods, who warned you that even death itself is not immune to what's coming, and that it is not just about you and your friends, your families and loved ones will be threatened if the Boomergangers see you all as an obstacle. And the threat is something that even the gods came to fear, to the point where, when the Second Age ended, they tore the world asunder to ensure that it could never be recreated, which is exactly what the Boomergangers intend to do. And Alfred, you spoke with your father, who told you to find peace with yourself and with him, to not blame yourself for mistakes made, and to no longer carry yourself as a servant, but to live for yourself, and to be the hero you were meant to be. You can be
With
a
great
shield.
power comes great responsibility.
Indeed. That's basically the gist of what everyone told you. It's great power, great responsibility. You guys got to hear it from dead relatives and gods and titans. Vaven got it from his childhood friend.
Just thinking, Uncle Ben.
As you all dry off and gather your garments and items, Dr. Supernatural has opened the guest house of the cathedral to you. Do you wish to take a rest first, or go and retrieve the key now?
Yeah, let's take a rest.
Okay.
Yeah, the queue's waited this long. It can wait a little
It
bit
can wait a
longer.
little bit longer. All right. Once you're out of the bathhouse, Dr. Supernatural guides you to a small, kind of out-of-the-way nook towards the back of the cathedral. There's enough beds for everyone. It's a bit of a squeeze, but it'll do. And you all settle in. You have died and come back and lived to tell about it. And with Loki's blessing, Don Campan now has permission to pass the complete chronology of time to the Divine Five.
Yeah.
You all get a long rest.
Yeah, I forgot I had to figure out how to get them back too. Or do I? Because they can figure their own way back. Right?
What?
Oh, the Dawn and the other, crew
I'm
that we
sure
brought
they're-
with us.
All our party members?
Like,
Yeah,
I could all, what, 40, 50 people?
yeah, well, I mean, the passengers just just wanted to get here.
Well, yeah, but what about our passenger? Like,
Yeah, but yeah, as for your crew, hold on, let me do a head count.
Yep. people with keys, we definitely need them.
Yeah, that's true. Let me see here. Let's see here. 26 people, counting all of you.
Fuck.
I mean, they're more equipped to, it was mostly the passengers who couldn't take care of themselves. They can, handle, a small trek across the plains.
Yeah, but I don't think this counts as a small trek either. This is what? Because on train it was what, day and a half?
Well, the train would have gotten there in a day if it hadn't gotten, slowed down by the blizzard and forced to make an unscheduled stop, and then, got eaten and then blew up.
How long would it take to go on foot?
Roll survival.
That is a natural 2 plus 3, so 5.
I mean, it took you like a day of sprinting as an elephant to get from the like where you were on the tracks to here, so maybe like 3 days.
Oh, we can do it. Let's go, guys. So I will make sure we get that book
Of course,
before we even
obviously,
head
yeah.
out.
Yeah. That would totally be a me move. Like, yeah, you didn't specify. You grabbed the book. Does anyone have anything they wish to attend to at the cathedral or with the detective before heading out to find the Dawn and getting the key?
No?
Okay. Stepping out of the sanctuary of the cathedral, you all make your way through the entrance hall surrounded by paintings and artifacts of ancient war. And Alfred, you push on the doors of the cathedral and step out into the sun.
You really need some oil for that.
It's a brisk morning, and you can see many of the passengers that you had escorted are going about their business in the town. And when they see you, almost all of them give friendly waves. You have made a bit of a reputation for yourself. These people know damn well that they would not have gotten here, especially not in one piece, if you hadn't escorted them.
At least we got some good reputation. That's good.
And indeed, among them, you can see passing out what appears to be rations and small pouches of gold is Don Capan, along with his daughter and his right hand.
I am an
As he sees you, his gaze brightens into a warm, fatherly smile, and he hands a pouch of gold to the person who's speaking to with a polite excuse before making his way over to the you. My friends, I take it that the operation was a success then.
It was. And if I remember correctly, it was Fire...
Yes,
Firehead
Firehead sends his regards.
Yeah, Firehead sends his regards.
His brows raise and he gives a smile. Definitely then. And he gives a somewhat guilty-looking smile. I do apologize for deceiving you twice over, but you have to understand, this isn't a little toy I'm passing on to you.
All that, and you can't exactly say no to the god of tricks and mischiefs.
He came to me asking me for a favor, and Don always is willing to do a favor. And with that, he reaches into his jacket and pulls free the tome that had held up to all of your scrutiny and even Asari's magical scrying to look like a convincing duplicate. Don smiles.
So it was real the entire time.
He gives a smile. As I said, I do apologize. And he runs a hand over it and lifts the illusion he had placed upon it. You all see a leather-bound book, sealed with cold iron locks, covered in magical words. The front reads, "The complete chronology of time," but the spine simply says, "Book of Time."
I guess they couldn't decide which name they wanted more.
The cover is a bit of a mouthful, I will admit, but not to blame them. You know, you gotta get across the gravitas of what you're dealing with, you know? You gotta really make sure the people understand what they're looking at. I can't fault them for wanting to be clear with people. You know, because with this sort of thing, if you're not clear, that's when you end up in trouble.
That is true, that is true.
And given the circumstances, he sighs, his chosen of the complete chronology of time, pass my gift to the Divine Five. And he holds out time for one of you to take.
For now, I will accept it. Whether or not I keep holding on to it, I don't know. But for now, he will take it.
Raylog, you may now add chronology of time to that is where we're going to end tonight's session and chapter 6 of Monster Moves. Now, two things. First of all, a promise is a promise. You all level up. Specifically, you guys will be happy about this.
Are we level 20? Are we level 20?
Hey, come on, it's chapter 6. You still got time. You are now level 19.
Oh,
Pretty close.
You level up 3 times.
I'm
nice.
satisfied with that. It's close enough. Level 20 after we beat the Boomer Games.
That brings me to the second thing I was going to bring up while you guys sort out your level ups. Normally, this would be the part where I reveal the name of the next chapter. However,
That's what we do, right?
indeed, it's been discussed in character already that you guys are a bit split on what you want to do next. With the Book of Time now in hand, you guys have 6 keys, and the Boomergangers have 2. One or both of groups will need all the keys to open the door. And I think the gods and titans and Avaven's friends have made it pretty clear is it's not a threat you can simply hide from. The Boomergangers have untold resources, untold determination, and the weapon they hope to unleash is something even the gods and titans have come to fear. But what determines the next chapter is, do you take the fight to them, or prepare yourselves for them to attack? So instead of revealing the next chapter here, we will take a break next week, and then the week after pick up with the interlude, where over the interlude you guys will finish up anything you want to do here, return back to Tortage, and once you get there, before you start on your downtime activities, everyone who's involved with this quest will sit down with you, and you will all discuss, once and for all, what is going to be your strategy for dealing with the Boomergangers. And depending on your answer, will determine whether we have 2 chapters left or 1, and what exactly is going to happen. The Divine Five are the one line of defense between the Boomergangers' weapon and the rest of the world. These cultists that worship technology in place of magic can potentially end all life on the planet. Or at least that is what the gods believe they are capable of. You've come very far. You fought dragons and zombies, assassins and pirates. You fought slimes, you've died and come back. You've been to the Underdark, you've been all over the world. You've sailed through hurricanes and been to other dimensions. Now all that remains is an army of technology-worshipping cultists and the globe-trotting treasure hunters that seek to stop them. Thus ends Chapter 6 on the Railroad. Check out our website at officiald5hub.info. Down for maintenance at the moment, but soon to be resurrected from the grave like a filthy necromancer meeting another filthy necromancer to do some filthy necromancy on a filthy necromancer. Check out our link in chat to join our official D5 Discord server if you want to hang out with us directly. Support our episodes posted on Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Google Podcasts, and the iHeart Podcast Network, wherever you happen to get your podcasts from. For our audio listeners, catch us live on Mondays at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time on twitch.tv/Odd Tornado Productions. Check out Odd Tornado Productions on YouTube to catch up on what you've missed, and check out Odd Tornado Productions Official on Tumblr to find links to our other works, including our Paladins Twitch channel at twitch.tv/AustinFreak123. If you enjoy what we do, please support us on Patreon, that link to be posted in chat, on Ko-fi at kofi.com/oddtornadoproductions, and follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/tornadoodd. The TNO are capitalized if you want to get immediate updates whenever we go live, as well as updates on all of our other projects. And if you want to see more of this party, plus or minus a few, tune in tomorrow, Tuesdays at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time, for our Tuesday game of Black Ink and Blue Blood, featuring a party of politicians and nobles trying to unravel a political conspiracy if they can just stop stabbing each other in the back long enough. Thank you, everyone at the table, so much for playing. Thanks, everyone at home, so much for watching. And we'll see you all